According to the Land Claims Commissioner in KZN, claimants in the province prefer financial compensation to getting their land back. More than half of close to 700 million rand worth of settlements last year resulted in financial compensation. We are now joined from our Durban studio by the KZN Department of Land Reform's Bheki Mbili. He is the Chief Director of Land Restitution Support in that province. Bheki, good evening. 10,000 claims, 821,000 hectares of land approved, 10 billion rands later. Are you happy with your record in the province?
Well, look, it's a combination of being happy and not really, because of the time it has taken us to get to where we are. Considering that the land claims process, the first window period was closed on the 31st of December 1998. And in 2017, we're still talking the language that says we still have 1,900 land claims in the province of KwaZulu-Natal that we have not yet settled. But we are happy with the progress that we have made, understanding the dynamics that are involved in processing a land claim and all the complexities that are involved in processing land claims. So to the extent that we've been able to settle more than 15,000 land claims, and we've been able to give redress to people that have opted for land restoration in one instance, and financial compensation to those people that have opted financial compensation. We are happy with the progress that we have made thus far, but we are not happy that we still have outstanding land claims in this day and age.
How do you plan to overcome the challenges you've identified, like inadequate capacity within your commission, tensions between traditional authorities, and of course the outstanding claims you've just referred to?
Well, one of the challenges that we've identified within the commission is lack or inadequate research capacity within the commission. And in order to address that particular issue, we have brought on board research institutions that are going to assist us to expedite research on those claims that we have not yet researched as the commission. And we are quietly confident that by the end of this financial year, we'll have completed research on all outstanding land claims, at least insofar as those land claims relate to claimants who are traceable. Also, we have brought on board mediation facility which assists us to resolve disputes where claimants have lodged claims over the same piece of land, and both or all the communities arguing that originally they had land rights in respect of that particular piece of land. All of those initiatives are aimed at ensuring that we accelerate the settlement of outstanding land claims, both in the province of KwaZulu-Natal but also across the country.
Now, a staggering 94% of all your new claimants are now opting for financial compensation. Doesn't that go against the very essence of land restitution?
It's a serious cause for concern, Vuyo, precisely because one of the things that government wants to achieve through the program of that does not assist us to change land ownership patterns in the country. But the difficulty we have is that the legislation that we operate in terms of the Restitution of Land Rights Act number 22 of 1994 makes financial compensation an option that is available to claimants. All that we can do as officials of the commission will be to influence claimants to opt for land restoration, but in the end it's their call. If they say we want financial compensation, there's very little that we can do to persuade them to opt for land restoration. I think the answer lies in ensuring that looking at the extent and the number of claimants that are opting for financial compensation, maybe government may want to relook at this issue by making certain conditionalities before a decision could be made that a person should be given financial compensation.
But how much of that problem is due to the fact that, I mean, beneficiaries are in fact getting poor support from the government?
Well, government does provide support to beneficiaries. Maybe the limited financial resources that we have at the disposal of the state are not enough to support everyone that has been the beneficiary of land restitution, especially in the form of land restoration. But there is support that we provide to beneficiaries of restitution and the broader land reform program. I think the problem would not have been to the extent that we outlined earlier today if there were certain conditionalities associated with making financial compensation an option. As things stand right now, if a person says, I want financial compensation, regardless of the reasons, government officials must implement just that, and there's very little or there's nothing that we can do to say that we can't give you that because we want to change land ownership patterns.
Well, but it is your report, I mean, that says, I mean, post-settlement, fragmented, poor, lack of support to beneficiaries, financial, technical, management, infrastructure, and access to markets development. Those are the challenges that you continue to face. Now, from where I sit, I say, what could that not be the reason why people are opting for financial compensation, rather, because they know that they are not going to make success of what they are being given?
We do have examples of claimants that have opted for land restoration who are making a huge success of the properties that have been restored to them, and we continuously highlight the successes of those communities in order to ensure that those claimants whose claims have not yet been settled are steered towards ensuring that they offer land restoration. So it cannot be that it is the only reason that we don't provide them with the support that they require post the settlement of the claim. That will then make them to opt for financial compensation. I think the problem is much deeper than that. You must remember that these land dispossessions happened many years ago, and the generation that we are dealing with right now, it's either the second, the third, or the fourth generation that may have not had the kind of relationship that their fathers, their grandfathers, their great-grandfathers may have had. So if I'm allowed to speculate, I would say there is one other contributing factor that makes people to opt for financial compensation as opposed to land restoration.
Mr. Begimbili, thank you very much. He is, of course, the KZN Department of Land Reform's Chief Director.